Gabriel, I'm going to make a quick video here for you of honing Henckels razor. This, for comparison, is a human hair, and you're seeing it at 315 power magnification. The focusing is on the closest edge of the human hair, and I'll focus out, and this is going back towards the outside circumference of the hair. So that is the full width of a human hair. If I go past focus, we'll be looking at the other side of the hair, but that's a human hair. And now this is the edge of the Henckels that I'm going to be honing. I get that in focus right about here. Okay, so this is the Henckels razor. This is the edge that I'm going to begin with. You can see a scratch pattern in it, and the edge looks serrated. There again, this is at 315 power optical viewing. So let me take the razor out, and I'm going to set a bevel on this 1000 grit king stone here. Now this is going to go sort of fast, but it's one example of how I set a bevel. Use diagonal strokes, which we can see in the microscope real easily as diagonal strokes. So that's about 20. There's 10. That's 10 per side. And the last few, I'm going to go a slower speed, which is another way of saying softer or less hand pressure. Okay, we'll set the king aside, and we're going to go back up to the microscope. Rinse off this blade. This is a Henckels Satin Wedge blade. It's from the probably 1960s. It could be a little bit 1950s. It could be a little bit earlier. So let me get that in focus, and you'll see. So this is a scratch pattern from the 1000 grit king. This is what we're going to begin with. And it's not a very well-defined scratch pattern. So I'm actually going to go back and do a little bit more bevel setting, being the foundation of every edge is the good bevel setting. Okay, let's see how that looks. I have a switch on my microscope that moves the viewing from the binocular eyepieces to my computer. Well, those are scratches from a 1000 grit king. Some scratches are a little bit deeper than others. Some are shallower. And we have a false edge there. That's what makes it look so ragged. But we're going to take all that out. So I'll take a photo if I can of that scratch pattern there. And I'm not sure it actually, the shutter worked or not. My shutter might, yeah, that's going to be screwy. My shutter isn't going to work. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, but that's it. Okay, so let me go back to the stone table here. And this is, I'm going to be using my axe method. I'll incorporate a tomonagura. So we'll get the stone wet. And what I have here is a worn out Atma diamond plate. This was a 600 originally. And it's worn down quite a bit, so it's acting more like a 1200 now. So this is the Ozaki stone, number 493. And I've raised a light slurry, moderate slurry here. And we're going to do a series of strokes on this blade. There's 10. Ten on each side. Okay, and that's with moderate pressure. Let me rinse the blade off, and we're going to go up to the microscope again. Okay, so here's how the edge is looking now. That's after 21 strokes. Crazy, it's upside down. But let me focus that in. And if I use the camera shutter on the computer program, it might turn it right side up. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So that is the scratch pattern that's left from the ozaki toame after 21 strokes. I'll scroll down on the bevel here, and you'll see that kasumi finish continues all the way down to the base of the bevel. There's a remnant of a 1000 grit scratch. This is the flat or the hollow ground of the razor. This is where the bevel begins and goes all the way up to the edge. Okay, so this is after just 21 strokes. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll take the razor out, and we're going to do some work on the razor with a tomonagura. First I'm going to rinse off the stone with clear water, so that we're just going to be working with a pure tomo and base stone slurry here. This is a hard base stone, but the tomo it's an ozaki. It matches up pretty well, so that judging from the color of the slurry, it's slightly green, so that indicates that the majority of the slurry is coming from the tomo. Okay, so we have a moderate slurry, as you can see. I'll push all the slurry up at the edge and you can see it a little easier. And I'm going to do the same 21 strokes. I'm using what I call a sliding stroke. My left hand actually slides along the spine of the razor to even out the pressure as the blade slides down the stone, so that it's just the best chance of the full length of the blade getting some immediate pressure translated down into the edge. Okay, so there's 21 strokes. Again, we're going to rinse your razor off, and go back up to the microscope. Okay, here's how that edge looks now. So this is after 42 strokes with slurry. The first slurry was made with the tomonagura, with the diamond plate, and then the second slurry was made with the tomonagura. So you can see how it's been transformed. Those 1K scratches are pretty much gone, and all we're left with was just a shadow of them. Okay, so that is, up here is what I consider a false edge. About this much of the edge is very weak steel that will be stropped off. But there is a technique to wear it off too, and that's with a little bit of fresh slurry made with a diamond plate. Would be one way to do it. But actually, I'm just going to strop it off now. I have a strop over here. This is a horsehide shell strop. What I'm trying to demonstrate here is how quickly, with a slurry and using that ozaki stone, how quickly your blade transforms from the bevel setting stage scratches to the finishing scratches on your finishing stone. And with your advanced techniques, you can add additional strokes or subtract strokes so that your edge represents maybe a little bit more of your, how you like it. You can use clear water or a different slurry stone, or you can fiddle with your edges a little bit. But here's how this edge looks now after just another stropping. And it did straighten out quite a bit, and it also brightened. The strop sort of flattens or hones out a little bit of the toothiness of that edge. But remember what that hair looked like, how thick that hair was on this image compared to the toothiness of this blade. Okay, so now what I have here, I have some human hair, and we'll see if I can get any hanging hair test results on this blade. I'd say it's really weak right now. I got a little one, but what I would do in this case, before I went back to the stone necessarily, I have some linen here, linen element. That can help, and we'll go to the horsehide one more time. And let's just see if this is going to give us the HHT results I was hoping to get. Get another piece of longer piece of hair. Okay, that was HH5. I was holding it about 1/4 of an inch away from the razor, and the hair just hangs off, falls off to the other side there. So these are HH5 results, and I honed the same razor 2 days ago and shaved with it with this kind of hanging hair results, and it was just a super shave. So that should finish off this this video. I hope I can get it all loaded on YouTube. We'll see.